Y'all here? All right. So our sponsor today is Tim from Cross Country, and he's going to come and share a few things with you guys. And then right behind him, Karen, if you'll be ready, you're going to be up next. I'm throwing things around.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me, Tim Stratton with Cross Country Mortgage. For those who don't know, we specialize in residential mortgages. I have a lot to talk about. I talk fast anyway, so if you have any questions, just let me know. But I'm trying to get through some of the quick stuff first, and then we'll get into some of the tougher things and what's going on in the market. First off, we do FHA up to 96.5%, just like everyone else. Where we're different is we'll go up to 57% debt to income. Most places stop at 50 or 55. We'll do conventional up to 50% debt to income. Most places stop around 45. We do have a 3% down conventional loan for first-time home buyers. The definition of a first-time home buyer is someone who has not bought a house in the last 3 years. There are some income limitations on that as well. We also do USDA loans at 100%, and we do VA loans at 100%. Now, our debt to income on VA loans can go as high as 62%. It's all based on what their income is. USDA, we're all in the same boat on that. We all stop at right around 41% on that. So if you have anybody in those situations that maybe even got turned down or, from another lender or something, feel free to have them give me a call. We can possibly work something out with getting them in a higher priced market based on their income. So we also have renovations. Go ahead, Cindy.
What would be your credit score?
Good question.
Sorry, you talked about.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, credit score limitations. On FHA, we'll go as low as 580 on FHA. Conventional will go as low as 620. VA will go as low as 580. And USDA will go as low as 640 on USDA. So 640 is going to be most places. Most of our competition is right around 640. They might be a little bit higher. But as far as 580, most places are stopping between 6 and 620. So we'll go a little bit lower. Basically, when they go a little bit lower like that, we just want to make sure that they have money for down payment and reserves. Reserves is money that they have sitting in a bank or 401k. Usually it's 2 months payment. So if they have a payment that's $1,000, we want at least $2,000 sitting somewhere that's considered reserves. Then we can get those customers done. If the credit's even lower, I got one done, I think it was last month or a month before. I may have talked about it, I'm not sure. They had a 544 credit score. However, they had 10% down. They had a co-borrower that had good credit, and we got that deal done. So there are instances where, some of those rules don't apply.
That's
so
good to know.
yeah, so it is possible.
No special programs for 470s?
No. No, Joe, no 470s, not at this point in time. So that's it as far as what we do differently. We also do the manufactured homes. The manufactured homes, we can do FHA, VA, and conventional. 30 years. I know, some of the other lenders would go 15 years. We will still do 30 years on all three of those. So if you have those, obviously, we're in a different market now. People are starting to, go further out. So manufactured homes, obviously, when people wanted land, that's where we get a lot of those. But now with the market the way it is, people are going out further. So if you have someone who wants to do manufactured homes, we can do those as well. Yes.
What's the age limit on those manufactured?
You can go back as far as, I believe it's either 76 or 77. Yeah, that's the only year you can't do. 76 or 77. You just have to make sure that, the age of that and make sure we can figure that out, because I did have one that they couldn't tell and we couldn't do. And that was the first time I've come across that. So
Is there a restriction on how much land with that manufacturer?
we have no restriction on the land anymore. Used to be 10, 25, 100. We have no restriction on the land as long as we can get an appraisal. We're just going to need one comparable to compare it to. So I know that, what's that? Well, you need 3, but the first one has to be, like the first one has to be similar, and then the other ones have to be, they don't have to be, if it's 100 and 100 and the other ones are 25 or 50, we can still do that. But the first one obviously has to be the best one. But yeah, so there's no limitation on land. I know there are a lot of places that are still doing the limitations on land, so we don't have that. Any other questions about the products before I go into what's going on in the industry? No? Okay. So obviously, I've been in the business since 1999. When I first got into business, interest rates were 8.5%. Okay. It's cyclical. Every time this happens, people start freaking out and things happen. When I first got in it, like I said, they're 8.5%. And then what happened? We had 9/11, then everything came down. Then they started climbing back up. And then 2008, then they came back down. Then they started coming back up. And we've been spoiled for about 8 years probably now. And, obviously they came down with the pandemic and they went down and now they're starting to creep back up. We're still at all-time lows. Interest rates are somewhere in the mid fives now, just so you know. So if you have those people who have been waiting or new construction or just talking about they're going to, wait for something else to change, don't wait anymore because it's getting harder and harder to close loans and the interest rates are going up. But that's where we need to be creative. Again, no one is, as far as I know, I've been in it 23 years. No one's seen a market like this before. We've seen interest rates. That's not new. But as far as the seller's market, not quite like this. There's nothing, unless Margaret's here and she knows differently, there's nothing that's been different because there's never been a market quite like this. Yeah, so,
Oh, Joe, you're being so nice today.
with that being said, I wanted to recommend a book to everyone that was recommended to me. And it's called, and some of you may already know it, and it's a quick read. You can get it on Amazon for like $10 something. It's called Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, it's the best book.
Yeah, it's great for this time. I talked to a buddy of mine who used to own he owned my, okay. So a buddy of mine who used to own a staffing company. Well, he owned it back when all these other staffing companies were coming out, like what was the big companies where you LinkedIn and some of the other ones where you can get hired on and stuff, and they were all freaking out. And so he was the first one to recommend this to me. He said that you just gotta, change the way your perception is on things and just change the way you do things. Everything, the market's still there. It's still a great market. It's still a great industry. Values are going up, so we still have that to go for. So it's still there. You just have to rethink the way you do things. And with that being said, this just came out yesterday for us that I wanted to go over with you. I do not know all the particulars, but I want to at least get this to you. I'm going to put it in everyone else's mailboxes today, and I'll shoot you some emails when I get more particulars. It's called Cash Plus. Basically, cross-country mortgage. And right now, us and one other lender is the only two lenders that we know that are doing this. Basically, if you bring me a borrower, I approve them and I take them through the whole process. It'll take about 7 to 10 days. We verify everything, assets, credit, all that stuff, just like full underwriting. We will put in the cash offer on the purchase. We just require that they get financing with us in 90 days. Okay. That means nothing to you guys. That's just what it means to us. We still will require appraisal on our end. So, but we will put up the cash offer. So they don't have to worry about selling their houses or anything. We're going to put up the offer for them. Now, obviously these have to be highly qualified buyers. Okay.
Because cross country would be the buyer.
Yes.
And then that.
Yeah, we will go on title and the customer will go on title. Once we do the 90 days financing, we'll take ourselves off and it's just them. Yes, yes. And we will take ourselves off once we get the financing and get our money back. But we will put the money up for it. Only conventional. Conventional is the only one that can do this. Again, I don't know all the particulars yet, but I just know it's going to be probably 700 plus credit score, probably 20% down. Go ahead, Joe. What do you mean?
We like proof of funds. please.
Okay, I'll get you one. Go ahead, Tammy. What's that?
Can you hear me?
Okay, that's it. Okay. So again, this is new. I'm going to put it in everyone's mailboxes and when I get new information, it literally just came out yesterday, but I wanted to bring it here since I knew I was going to be here. Go ahead. It is with Ribbon. We are with Ribbon.
Is it, so it's gonna be the same where it's a certain percentage and then if they close within 70 days?
I wasn't told that we were charging anything for that. So I'm not sure on that. It does say on here though, we're partnering with Ribbon. Okay, so
Yes, if you close with Ribbon, it's 2%. If you close beforehand, it's
I'll find out with that. That may be different with just us, but I'm not sure, but I'll find out. What's the question on Zoom?
Tammy, so hand raised, she can just unmute that.
What's that?
Okay, Tim, can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay, so if a buyer doesn't close within 30 days, is there a fee that they have to pay after that 30 days to you in order to take advantage of that cash deal?
Actually, we're giving them 90 days. It's 90 days that they have to finance. And again, I'm not sure on the particulars of that yet. I'm going to get the information to you. But like I said, this just came out yesterday and I want to at least get in front of it. One other thing, it's a minimum 150 loan amount up to $1 million. So 150 to $1 million.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that? And I apologize for not having more information, but like I will at least wanted to get out in front of you guys with it. Go ahead, Tammy. Residential, primary, those are, the obvious residential, primary, conventional,
20% down.
I'm not sure on the 20%, but I'm assuming on the 20%. And obviously it's going to be, I don't know what the credit score minimum is, but I'm going to assume 700 plus. So, but I'll get the particulars and put in everyone's emails. So. Anything else? Well, if you guys, yeah. Looks like there's gonna be extra, so make sure you go up and get a second plate. Thank you guys again for having me. Obviously, you know where my office is. It's down just below Keller Williams. If you have any questions, stop by, ask me questions, shoot me an email. And then as soon as I get some more particulars on this, I'll put it in everyone's mailboxes or shoot an email. I'll email it. Okay. Great. Thank you. What is it? What is that, a Facebook group or email?
Post it in the Facebook group and then blast the email.
Put in Cindy's reel when she's working out. That's what I'll do.
When she's working
When she's
out.
working out, I'm gonna post it up.
I gotta go make a point to look at these reels. I haven't seen them.
Gets more likes off that than on Facebook, so what's the matter?
Okay. All right, Karen's got some things she's gonna share with us about MLS, and here you go, Karen. Thank you, thank you.
Hi, guys. For those of you that don't know me, I am your Alamance MLS president.
And so much more.
And so much more. I won't go through the list because we may be here all day if I were to do that yet. So I just wanted to let you guys know about some changes. Some of you may get up and do a happy dance about this that are coming to MLS. We have heard your voice. We have heard I don't want to pay for 3 MLSs. I don't want to enter it into 3 MLSs. Everybody else around us is coming in and selling our listings. So we have been, Alamance MLS has been in conversation with Triad MLS and Triangle MLS. And looking at what those options are, we're kind of becoming a big blob. We are a hot commodity right now. I will tell you that. Alamance MLS is currently in the position that is very similar to what this market is right now. Everybody wants us. We're like that perfect house that is underpriced, that is, yes, that everybody wants. So it has, this has been in talks for years and years and years and years and years, and was just never really the right time to have a conversation, nor did anybody really make us an offer. So again, market has changed, and we essentially, as we all know, are the link between Triangle and Triad, which is the reason why they both want us. Because once that happens, one of them gets us, then the 2 of them will be doing data share. So let me be the first one to tell you, in the very near future, you may only have 1 MLS. Yes. Yes. Longleaf, yes, yes. So, yes, so, yes, so that Longleaf has kind of been the initial that instigated a lot of this. Well, regional really kind of started it when they started, they all conglomerated. Regional is at the coast. North Carolina Regional is at the coast. And so what's going on right now in the MLS industry is that a lot of people are either doing data share, are doing mergers, those sorts of things to, I mean, to cut costs and for the consumer experience. I mean, you look at California, and California has one part of California has one MLS that has over 120,000 people, subscribers to it. So
There's only 20,000 there.
So just wanted to let you guys know that we are in conversations, and kind of the next step, just to kind of let you know, both sides have made offers to us. I have put together a presentation to present to all of our subscribers and to our participants. Gold star to anybody other than Cindy that knows the difference between a subscriber and a participant.
So subscriber is allowed to do the searches and whatnot, and a participant is like a vendor.
No, but thank you, thank you for trying. So yes, Sarah. So everyone in this room is a subscriber. I am a participant as a broker in charge. So a participant is a broker in charge. A subscriber is everybody else that's not a broker in charge. Within our bylaws, only participants are allowed to vote. So this will be a vote. We will do the presentation to everyone because we want to educate everyone and let everyone know these are the options. At the end of the day, the option that is chosen, the end result will be the same. We're going to get all of the data. It's just a matter of which is the best decision based on what's being offered for our board, our association board, because that is something that we need to ensure is sustainable and also independent and stays around for all of us. Most of us are probably, our primary board is Burlington Alamance County Association of Realtors. Some of you may have some secondary association as well with either Triad or Triangle, one or the other. So we will do a presentation, educate everyone, and then we will have a vote. The participants will be able to vote. So it is very important that you let your broker in charge know what your vote is. This will be based on a majority vote. And then once there's a majority vote, we will take it to the association board for approval. Yes, hold on, Curtis.
So when you say that Triangle and Triad was bidding for this kind of thing, so is whichever one wins, is that the system that you might use, like Matrix versus Paragon?
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, it would, yes. So whichever, if we were to merge with Triad, then it would be Matrix system. If we were to merge with Triangle, it would be Paragon system. The data integration it works a little different depending on the system. In order to be able to get all of the data, works a little better when it's not the same platform than when it is the same platform. When it's the same platform and you do a data share, you still have to do individual searches. So if you wanted to search Alamance County, you would do a search under Alamance County. Then you got to click on a different tab to search Guilford County. So it's not, the data is not completely integrated within an intra-matrix system. With a Paragon system, it is completely integrated because it's a different platform, and that's just the only way that they can do it. Jim? No, no. Yeah, so initially it will be 2 because of whichever direction. So if it were triad, then you would only pay triad dues. If it were triangle, you would only pay triangle dues. Once triangle and triad do data share, then that cuts down as well.
So the one that loses, then we won't. I mean, so.
You still could possibly have 2.
Yes, you still could potentially have 2 until the 2 of them do data share. Yes. Absolutely. Yes, yes, because just as the lines are blurring in both directions right now, that's not going to change when Alamance MLS goes away. Those lines will continue to blur. So those people from Wake County are still going to drive to Forsyth County to sell a house because that's the only one that they can find for their buyer. So those lines will just continue to blur. So it only makes sense for them to do a data share. They are already in conversations about it. We are the missing link, which is why we're the commodity.
An example of that is years ago, we went through this in Sanford
Mhm.
between longleaf pine and triangle. Sanford ended up going under the triangle. We eliminated the second MLS there, and now they are co-chair, and that was about a 10-year gap between those 2 coming together.
Yes.
From the time that we dissolved.
How many
Sanford.
MLSs are in North Carolina now? 20. At one time, there were like 45. We have 100 counties.
There are not that many
No, it's
now.
20.
Yes, there are still a few very small MLSs in the mountains, and there are still a few small ones, Rocky Mount up in the northern coast. Southern coast has gone to regional. Of course, Canopy, which is Charlotte, has taken over a large piece of that, and then Triad has expanded to some of the mountain counties as well, and then Triangle, of course, to the east. Just cut me off whenever you. Okay.
I think we can take these last 2 questions, and Karen's gonna come back and teach.
I will actually do the presentation. We will let you guys know. I will come here. The board will do presentations. We will have them at 584. And we'll determine what those times are. But because there's such a large population here, I will come here and do the presentation and answer any specific questions once you see the information and the data that you can ask specific questions. But yes, Tammy.
You had said that Triangle is in the process of taking over Longwood, correct?
Not taking over. They are doing data share. They have a signed data share agreement already in place. They had hoped to for it to be completely up and running and functioning by the end of first quarter. That did not happen just because of the data integration that they ran into with the technology issues. By May is when you log in to Triangle MLS, you will have access to Longleaf data.
It's on the front page of MLS.
And so if Alamance decides to go with Triangle, we would automatically have all of the data for Longwood.
Absolutely, yes.
And then I think we have one more question up here.
What was the timeframe deadline for getting this rolled out?
A time frame for getting this rolled out. So it's interesting, like a lot of people are like, oh, so this is going to happen next week, right? Well, it's a process. It is a long process. This has taken a little longer than we anticipated. We were hoping by third quarter that something would be in place because of some unforeseen delays. Our goal now is by the end of the year, and that would be full integration. So decision made prior to that, just the implementation, because there will be training that will be, that will be necessary, potentially, depending, those of you that don't use Paragon. And if the decision is to go to Triangle, then Triangle will come in and do on-site training classes for the Paragon system. Obviously, Matrix is, Triad uses the same Matrix system. There's a little different than ours. Just some features are different, but for all intents and purposes. The end of the year would be, yes.
When's the meeting for the participants meeting?
Um, Well, yes, so that is correct. Yes. So we don't have that yet. I have put together a presentation. I have presented that to the association board. The association board, they are meeting next week to talk about it behind my back. So, yeah, Christy May. So, yes, so they, once they approve the presentation as it is, then we will get the dates scheduled and we will get those out. So be looking for those in your email. This is very important, guys. This is this is a monumental thing. So please do not take it lightly, and encourage all of you to attend at least one of the trainings, ask questions, figure out what's best for you, and then let your broker in charge know what is best for you. Hopefully, Tiffany and Teresa will keep a little log of, okay, this is how many triads we got. This is how many triangles. Yeah, so somebody will make a spreadsheet about that. Yes, so thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any MLS questions ever, just let me know.
Yes, thank you so much. Tim, you had one more thing?
Sorry, I just wanted to say one more thing that Karen remind me of. Whenever I have issues with borrowers or anything, I want to bring it to everyone's attention. Obviously, we have a lot of people moving from out of states. I'm having issues with due diligence and earnest money. Please make sure you tell all your clients, do not use cash for due diligence or earnest money. I know it's a broken record, but I had a person moving here from out of state. They went to the bank. Now, I didn't get a hold of them before they did this, but basically they thought that they couldn't get a certified check. They thought they couldn't wire the money. So what they did was took cash out, $5,000 and $5,000 at two different banks, because only one bank would only give them $5, the other one would give them $5, and went and purchased a $10,000 due diligence check. They couldn't use it. Luckily, they have enough money to overcome it. But if that was their only money, we wouldn't have been able to use that. So any buyers you have coming in, obviously, we don't want to get involved in wiring, but if it's a conventional loan, they can wire that money right to the attorney. That's the simplest process. If it's a conventional loan, wire it right to the attorney. If they're going to get a gift or anything else, make sure everything's done with a check, no cash. Because that deal, it was a nightmare last month. Just want you guys to know that. So that's it. Thanks. Appreciate it for all your time.
Thank you. So cash is not golden. So we've had some stuff going on in the MCA role. Russ is recovering. He's home recovering. So we don't know the extent of that, but I'm thinking we're on the mend now. So Kim and I have been working very hard to get everybody paid. And I think as of this morning, we are caught up on everything that there is an opportunity for. And we know what the check belongs to. So if you are waiting on something, email me directly, Mary.Holder@KW. That way it's not lost in that commissions email that's about 400 or 500 emails behind right now. But just email me and tell me the address or the attorney and the attorney's name where that check came from, so we can kind of piece the puzzle together and get you guys paid. There's not that many out there that still need to be paid or that we are holding a check for. We're not holding things up for compliance right now. That being said, start trying to get your stuff in compliance, because that's only a temporary thing that we're paying things out without you being in compliance. So, so make sure your opportunity is in there, make sure it's been approved, Make sure you got your commission request in there, your CD uploaded, and your copy of your check uploaded. That's all compliance stuff. We've been uploading some of those checks, but that's gonna slowly fade out. You guys need to start doing it. That's part of your compliance requirement. Out by the box. Yes.
The commission checks though are coming into the office now, so the agent doesn't necessarily see them going straight to the department, and they don't have a chance to.
Right. Are you guys asking the attorneys to include a copy of the CD when they send those checks or send them to your attention? Oh, you're not getting a copy of your check. Right, but you know it's coming.
Yeah, just go ask them. They said-
But I mean, you know when you're expecting a commission check, right? So-
Sometimes if it's mailed, you don't know when it's there.
You had a closing.
It depends on the attorney. I mean, if you pick it up, I
I understand. No, I understand, but everybody knows when they have a closing,
Yes, and it could take 3 or 4 days.
Right. but giving the directions to the attorney to send it to your attention and include a copy of the CD. Yeah.
So then we should come to Burlington, open our checks, make a copy of it, and then give it to you?
No.
That's pretty easy.
No,
The question is, if the check comes from an attorney to the office.
a lot of times they don't have addresses on them of the property.
So hold on
Mhm.
that. We're uploading that check from the attorney to command, right? If we know where to put it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If we could ask them to include the information when they send it.
The biggest challenge is that, the closing documents that you guys are getting, sorry.
Yeah, Mike. Thank you.
The closing we're not receiving closing documents or they're not uploaded in command. So if we get a check that is just a check to Keller Williams and has nothing else on it, we've got a stack of those right now that we don't know where they go. Right. So if you can please do your part and request the closing documents and get those into your command, that helps us a lot with the research process. It can take hours to research down that rabbit hole to try to figure out where that check goes to. The check, when we know, when the check is mailed to the office and comes in and we know where it goes, we're uploading it. I think that's where the confusion was coming in. Yeah, we had a great question about referrals.
If we know where it goes, when it
Yeah.
comes in the mail, if they've sent it to, they put your name on it, then we know where it goes. If
Prime-
you're expecting a referral, reach out, because we've got a few of them in there. We have no clue.
Prime situation, Emily Overman, if I can share your same situation, attorney email or attorney mails it, no information. Keller Williams, referral. And if she doesn't have some sort of closing documents or something to pass on to us, then we don't know what to look for.
It was suggested that we sit and call all the attorneys on these checks. However, we're trying to get you guys paid. We don't have time to chase it and get, I mean, we're trying,
help us.
help us to get you paid.
Tell you that they're missing the check.
So at this stage, if we've already submitted all the information you just cited that's needed to the commission's email, we should now send that to Mary Holder again. Is that correct?
If you're currently looking for a check and it has not been paid.
Okay, we'll do that again. Thank you for
Okay,
clarifying.
include the address of the property or what you've called the opportunity.
We will do that again. Thank you.
Who was that?
Rachel.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and the thing with that is that typically if there's, and I'm not speaking, we can sidebar on that, Rachel, and make sure that everything's taken care of. But typically if everything is uploaded in command and closing documents are in command, then we can figure out where the check goes to. But the problem is when we're getting the check and no other information.
We've got,
something.
we've got, not every one of them.
But
There's nothing but an amount.
There's not like that little paycheck stuff that says, oh my.
I just had the paycheck, so did not have anything.
And if.
Right.
Can I jump in one more time? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be taken. Okay. So if there's anything, first of all, you all have been amazing.
Mhm.
You have worked hard for these commissions, right? It's your money. We don't want it. We want to get it to you. I promise. Thank you for that. Literally, Kim and Mary, if if I can just get, Kim has dove into, you don't even know the extent of it, okay? If you can take one lesson from this in your businesses, written, scalable processes, step-by-step processes. You never know when you're going to have to step out of your business because life happens. It was an emergent surgery. All right. We don't know the extent of it. Russ just made it home on Easter. What an Easter blessing. We'll get that information to you as soon as possible. Build your businesses with written systems that somebody else can pick up on. Okay. So thank you so much for your patience. Kim left the office about, what was it, 6:37 last night? And she said, I finally feel like
Made
We're
some progress.
we made some progress. Okay. Rachel, thank you for being patient. I know you and I have had correspondence back and forth. Just don't be afraid to keep sending personal email, to me or to Mary. We're super, super responsive.
Yeah.
So if you're missing something, we'll get on top of it ASAP. Question? Yes.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Everyone is not getting the email, come find me.
Okay. If you're getting a text message that says check your email and you're not getting the email, see Jonathan. Yes. Thank you so much for letting us know. We do have a handful of you in there. Yeah. And if you have any questions, if you respond back to that text message, I can get it straight to you. Yep. No, you're welcome to respond back. We're getting them and we'll get on top of it. And if for some slight chance you send something to Mary or I and we don't respond, please send it again, because if we don't respond, that's simply because we've missed it or we just haven't had a chance to get to it yet.
What's happened in the commission's email is you guys send an email a lot of times. I reply to it, but by the time you get the reply, you've sent me 2 more emails and you're not seeing the replies sometimes. And then there's 5 or 6 more people emailed on top of you and it gets buried. And there was so many of them. I've not been able to get to every one of those emails. That's why I'm asking you, if you're waiting on something now, email it to my personal KW email address.
Check your box first.
Yeah, check your box. Because there's somebody emailed me while I was sitting over here saying, hey, I was waiting on this check. I just put a second check in that box today and that first check's still sitting in there from last week because they didn't check their box. So is there any questions on how to contact and where we're at in the process right now?
Put the CD with the check, then you wouldn't have.
Well, you're getting ready to find out about that.
That is the best. That's the process.
Okay, so, all right, so everybody understands, work toward getting yourself in compliance. Did you have something, Kim? So we've also got outside the box where you drop your check an envelope that's got information that we need you to add. I mean, whenever you're dropping your stuff off, this will help us a lot if you can fill out the front of the envelope, put your check in. Just in the old days, I remember whenever I was with Keller before. And so we've created the envelope, the temporary envelope we're going to be using. We're going to be ordering the actual envelopes, but if you could fill out the information when you're dropping your check off, it will help us find the opportunity, because some of you guys opportunities are named one thing, others are using addresses, and it's like we're hunting these opportunities for you guys, and it will speed up the process. Again, as of today, we are caught up. So now we're going to start working on your office bills. So anyway, use the envelopes, you guys. That's going to be a big help. Do not use the outside box. That is not a box for you to put your commission check in. Use there's one in the break room at the copy machine and one outside the MCA office.
Check the Dropbox for FedEx.
Yes, the box outside is meant for keys and things for agents are getting in that box. We're not getting in that box.
So both of those boxes inside are still good.
Yes.
And then there's a question, Jennifer?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when we first started command, it was all required that the name of our opportunity be the ad.
Some are still doing it the correct way.
Yeah, some people aren't, so you may want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not name that.
And I'll be frank with you on that too. There's been more than a handful that have crossed the desk in the last week where numbers have been transposed.
Yes.
So instead of 6978, we're getting 6798, 7698, and all of the above.
And we can't issue the check because it can't get past that point until that's corrected in your command. We can't correct that for you.
Oh, the actual commission piece.
Where you're doing your commission requests,
Okay,
numbers are
yeah,
getting
yeah,
transposed.
But can't you fix the DA? I mean, can't you go in there and fix that?
If we can find it.
Um,
Once we've submitted, I don't think we can
The
fix
leverage
that.
company says no.
What I had to do in the past is do a
So-
rate sheet.
You can fix it.
So, and the other thing is, a lot of you, I don't know how, I mean, when you do your commission request and you get it all done, everybody thinks that's it. If you don't hit that submit button, we don't see it until you hit submit. But that was probably one of our big hangups over the last couple days is, oh, it's in there, it's in there. We can't see it until you hit submit.
Yeah.
So
But I
You
don't
can-
think
you-
once you submit, you can change a number in a.
we
in that.
can't.
So how would you fix it? That's what I'm asking. I don't have any problems. I'm just saying, if you do have a number wrong, how do they fix it if you can't go back in to change it once it's submitted? And you're saying the numbers are transposed.
It gets returned to you. We return, the leverage company is returning it to you to fix it.
Yeah, they can.
We just compliance. Yeah, we just did that today. I had to wait until I heard all of your question on where you're, like, I can't do it. Yeah.
So compliance, as far as those that are not in compliance, Teresa and April are going to be reaching out if they have not already to let you know why. So, all right. All right. Make sure your opportunity is approved. All of this has been an email and we'll hang around for a few minutes afterwards if there's any additional questions. Red Day. Red Day is coming up.
My favorite day.
Thank our amazing culture committee, Christy Donaldson, Christy May, they've done a fantastic job. You've got a flyer in front of you. You can sign up by scanning the QR code on the flyer. And there's also going to be a sign up genius email that goes out today. And you've got a little bit more information up here, help with restore cleaning, landscaping at schools. There's several timeframes, several things that you can sign up for. Red Day stands for Renew, Energize, and Donate. And it's our opportunity to come together as a community and give back, right?
Are they gonna order t-shirts again?
We do have t-shirts. Yep. Bold is launching again. First step is going to be the last week of May. We have an awesome new to us Bold coach named Jake Ginger. He will be in contact soon. He's an operating principal, has a successful mortgage company, a 7th level business, and we'll talk to you about grossing $1 million in 3 hours or less per week. So super excited to have him, and we'll be coming out with those dates, the remaining dates soon.
Where is it gonna be located? You said, well, we have-
Burlington is hosting.
Oh, we're hosting.
Yes,
Okay.
we are hosting. I think that Kernersville and Greensboro are going to be in with us as well. And we don't have a location or venue chosen yet. However, there are actually some really cool options in Burlington for venues. So super excited for that. Be bold. We will be there. And we're going to round up the meeting with a video. Feel free to leave after it's complete. Thank you for being here today.
You meet somebody wealthy? Their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes a family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it. I fought for it. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at. That he gave it everything, that he went for it. But here's the truth. Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream, you can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it, but if you decide my will cannot be bought, I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm gonna change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You're gonna keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought?
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you can decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're going to play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
It was very hard. Here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. It's very important as you hold on to that dream. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to know that. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day.
I was born in Liberty City on a floor on 62nd Street, a twin brother and me. When we were 6 weeks of age, we were adopted. When I was in 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mentally retarded, and put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade and stayed in that category until I got out of high school. I have no college training, but here's what happened. I had an intervention in my life. A man who saw something in me at a time that I did not see something in myself. I never forget being in his class one day waiting on a friend of mine who was there to rehearse for a play. He did not show up, and he asked me to go up to the board and write something on the board. And I said, I can't do that, sir. He said, why not? I said, I'm in a special education class. He said, what do you mean? I said, go up to the board and write what I'm about to tell you. I said, I can't do that, sir. Why not? I'm educable mentally retarded. And he came from behind his desk. He said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that changed my life. It was Oliver Wendell Holmes who said that once a person's mind is expanded with an idea or a concept, it can never be satisfied to going back to where it was. So some of you are going to experience a breakthrough. Some of you are going to go back and look at your dreams and brush them off. Some of you are going to begin to look at yourself and say, hey, look here, I know I have not done all that I can do. Whatever goal that you have in mind, I want that to be a goal that will challenge you, something that will make you stretch. It was Osborne who said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it, that you talked yourself out of it? Whatever it is, bring it back out there. How you're going to do it, that will come to you in due time. See, you don't get in life what you want, ladies and gentlemen. You get in life what you are, not what you want.
It's very important for you to believe that you are the one to make this happen. I remember this high school teacher, Mr. Leroy Washington, at the end of school one June, it was just a few days before we were supposed to leave, and I just got my report card, and it indicated that I'd failed history, and I'd failed English, and I would have to go to summer school. And I was feeling within myself that I was a failure, that I'm slower than most people in getting paperwork, and I was feeling down on myself and very negative. And Mr. Washington was giving a speech to the graduating seniors, and I was in 11th grade. And even though I wasn't supposed to be in there, I went in there because the speech he was giving, that speech was for me. And as he talked, my heart began to beat fast. Tears began to run down my eyes, and I was in the back just listening to him because he said, and he was a very dramatic man. I still talk to him to this day. He said, as graduating seniors of Booker T. Washington High School, I want you to know that you're blessed and highly favored, and that as you go toward the future, begin to know that you have greatness within you. And if just one of you here begin to envision yourselves as being blessed and highly favored to reach your goals, if just one of you capture the essence of what that means, that you have greatness within you and a responsibility to manifest that greatness, that you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. And the students gave him a rousing standing ovation. And as he left the auditorium, I ran down the steps and I caught him in the parking lot. I said, Mr. Washington? He said, yes. I said, do you remember me, sir? He said, no. I said, my name is Leslie Brown. My mother, she works in the cafeteria here. I'm one of the twins, Leslie and Wesley. I said, Mr. Washington, but you know, I got these big dreams. You know, I like talking to people. I love people. I said, I want to work with people, and I got this dream of buying my mama a home. Could I do that, Mr. Washington? He said, it's possible, Mr. Brown. And as he walked away, I called him again. I said, Mr. Washington? He said, what do you want now? I said, I'm the one, sir. He said, I'm the one. You remember me, sir. I'm Miss Mamie Brown's boy. I'm the one. I'm the one. And you must feel that. And that's why you're here. Because you are the one. And I remember when PBS first played one of my specials called You Deserve, one Sunday afternoon in Miami, Florida. I had some friends call him to tell him to tune in. And he watched the program. He called me in Detroit, and I answered the phone. I said, hello. He said, may I speak to Les Brown, please? I said, who's calling? He said, you know who this is. I said, oh, Mr. Washington, it's you. He said, you were the one, weren't you? I said, yes, sir. He said, and you were so crazy. I said, I know, but I'm rich now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be easy. It was hard laying on the floor of the Penobscot building, looking out of the window, daydreaming, saying, Les, can you do this? Can you make this happen? I used to listen to tapes day in and day out about See You at the Top, my great friend Zig, and Dennis Waitley, and different other motivational speakers, and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. And Dexter saying, don't let nobody steal your dream. I used to ask myself, can I do this? And something said within me, you're the one. You're the one. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. While you're here, and before you go back home to your respective cities and communities, write down at least 5 reasons on why you deserve your dream, on why you won't give up, what's going to make you unstoppable, Why you must be unreasonable, because logical, practical thinking says you can't do it today. But if you want to produce unreasonable results in your life, like living your dream and taking charge of your destiny, you've got to be an unreasonable person. You've got to be an uncommon person.